Hello, hello! This is Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Studio Series 86 Jazz. And so this toy was one of the first of the Studio Series to come out. And I had recently also picked up the box set, the Legacy Jazz here that came with a couple of other Autobots, including Wheeljack and Trailbreaker. uh, who else was in there? I think Hound was in there and Sunstreaker. But pretty much for the most part, the transformation of this, the size of this, the mold of this is exactly the same as the Studio Series 86. So for me, I was like, do I really want to open the Studio Series 86 Jazz? It pretty much got the same toy here. And I think the answer is probably going to be no for now, unless you guys can convince me otherwise, because right now I'm thinking there's not enough difference between these two jazzes for me to bother to open this at this time. So we're going to kind of compare the two jazzes and have a look at that. So we have the jazz here in the box, and you can see the coloration of the headlights are pretty much the same. The insignia for Autobots is different. This is a lot more red and pronounced, whereas this is a darker blue on his chest plate, and the Autobot symbol is a lot bigger, but less bright. It's more of a kind of a maroon color. You can see on the head there that this just goes right to white, whereas here the blue extends to the back. And I'm not sure which is more accurate to the cartoon. Supposedly this is, so let's go with that being more accurate to the cartoon. As far as the torso or middle part of the Transformer, let's look at that. It looks more or less the same. I did something wrong with the chest plate here. Sorry, looks like I have to fix the transformation of Jazz here. I didn't notice that until just now. But yeah, so the middle part of Jazz here and here are about the same. I don't see much of a major difference there. It looks about the same to me. And then the coloration of the middle part there and here, similar. This is a slightly lighter blue. That's a little bit darker. The joints, the legs look about the same. These parts in the leg parts here look a little bit more or less the same. I think that's slightly more silvery gray, and this is a slightly more pale or like a more dim type of gray there. So slightly changes in the gray there, but otherwise more or less the same. And so let's get these things down here. Now, as far as the box cover goes, there's very nice detailed art on here. And, so when we're looking at the jazzes here, and from the box to compared to the jazz we got in front of me, there's not, when he's in robot mode, other than those differences I pulled it out or kind of pointed out, I don't see a tremendous amount of difference there. So that's kind of the reason I don't really want to open it. The car form we're going to go over. There is some slight variations, but mostly it's just paint that they've chosen slightly different. But more or less, the shape of Jazz is exactly the same, just a few minor sticker and paint detail differences. I think even the head shape is more or less the exact same. Okay, so and the gun looks to be about the same as well. Yeah, pretty much the same. All right, so let's have a look. So since this is pretty much the same mode as the Studio Series 86, we got an idea of how this is going to line up. So we can look at side by side. This is pretty much the same. It's not much difference in size at all. It's pretty much bang on the same. So size comparison wise, when we're comparing the Jazz to his compatriots from the cartoon series, this is Optimus. So you can see Jazz is a lot smaller than Optimus. This is Ironhide. You can see he's definitely taller than Ironhide. We got Bumblebee here, and then we have Brawn here. And we can see compared to, it looks like he scales pretty well with these transformers. It looks like, because Jazz is not the tallest transformer, nor is he the smallest. He's kind of in the middle, and he's definitely bigger than the mini bots. But he's definitely smaller than Ironhide and Optimus, and that seems pretty consistent. So from a size comparison, I think Studio Series Jazz lines up very, very nicely with these Transformers. And I say Studio Series, I know this is the Legacy version, but it's the exact same mold, so I'm using it for size comparisons right now. And then we have the Studio Series in the back, so you can see that it is pretty much the exact. This is how he would be paired against them. And I said, I don't see a heck of a lot of difference in the actual shape of Jazz. The main difference is the insignia and the coloration of this blue here, which doesn't extend back into this area. All right, so let's move these out. We're going to transform Jazz, and we're going to have a look at the vehicle modes and see how they might be different. But the transformation is more or less the same. We're going to start by taking off the gun, and let's start with the feet. We're going to move these feet down a little bit, flip these wheels up, and so we got the back going on there. We're going to bend, actually we got to turn the torso here and turn this torso here. Okay, good. And then we're going to move his head. Oops, did I do something? Yeah, okay. So we got to move, get his head transformed out. But let's move these flaps in the back first to get those ready. So this thing kind of has a double thing out that comes out like that. And the head, let's see if we can get the head back. I always forget how to do that the best way. We're going to have to move this thing back. And we're going to flip the head in. How did I do this before? Turn his head down. Right, there we go. So we turn the head down, pop that in. And so his head's kind of sitting underneath there. We're going to flip this piece down here. There. Kind of tuck that piece in there. And then we're going to start getting these feet settled in. So they have a double turn into here. And then before, I guess we can tuck these in. Good. And before we flap these things down, we're going to get the arms ready. So put that in. And we're going to get these arms kind of bent in a way. Bend these in. I'm going to bend one arm up. I'm going to bend this hand in. The hand that goes up. Down. I'm going to bend this arm up. Actually, I think this bends down and that one bends up. Bend that up. Okay. Here we go. Let's turn this down. All right, just finessing the arms down and getting it ready to clip into the door. There we go. And let's just tighten up the back here. And for the most part, we are done. I don't think I lined this up 100%. Let me see if I can get that better. All right, so we got this Jazz here, and when the gun goes on top, we don't lose that. So let's have a comparison of what the coloration difference in the car modes are. And there's very slight differences, very slight. I don't have this transformed 100% right. I have to get this popped up a bit more. I don't want to spend too much time doing that, but yeah, this needs to line better. But yeah. So the main difference between that is the stickers here. You can see the sticker here and here. The line on this car here is a lot thicker than here, and it's more brighter red. And the insignia is the same. So this should be, this is a lot brighter red than this one. These are kind of more of a maroon color. The windows, the original Transformer had very clear windows, and apparently those kind of discolor over time. So this is more of a blue um, um, coloring. I guess in the cartoon it was kind of bluish there too. So I don't know which is more cartoon accurate than the other. But so if you like the clear one more, and that's a big that's a big deal for you, then go ahead and open up a studio, sorry, yeah, Studio Series 86 one. If you don't mind that one, you can get this in the 5-pack with some other Transformers, and pretty much get the exact same jazz, other than with those minor differences. So that's the main thing. The transformation exactly the same. Only difference is a little bit of paint job. It looks like the black here as well is thicker than the black on here. Let's see if I can bring that closer. It looks like that black is thicker there. And again, the glass here, here, and here on both, and again over here, it's all blue here, all clear on this version of Jazz. And so it really comes down to how much that bothers you. For me, doesn't bother me enough to open up this to have pretty much a clone Jazz. So I'm going to treat this as a Studio Series 86 Jazz, in terms of when I have it together with my other Transformer Studio Series 6 comparisons. I, to me, it just doesn't make sense to open up another Jazz just to complete this set, when this one pretty much is the exact same thing with very minor paint changes. And again, the mold is exactly the same in roll-up mode, and that's the mode I'm going to be having him in most of the time anyways. So let's quickly turn him back. We'll keep his friends out here. We'll keep his friends out here. Oops, Bumblebee just fell down. Let's bring him back up. And let's go ahead, we'll take this out, and let's see if I have an easier time transforming it back into his mode there. Let's free up this part so we can get the arms out. I almost always find it's easier to transform it back into robot mode than it is transforming it initially into the oops, I think I have to do this part first. Then transforming it into the car mode. And I don't know why that is, but I always find that's usually the case for me anyways. We're going to turn this here, turn this thing back here, get that part going, and then we're going to pop this thing down to get the head up. There we go. And we'll get down here, arms down here, and his finger, this out here. Come on. There we go. And so for me, as I said, I'm treating this as a Studio Series 86 Jazz for now, because yeah, to me it's just so similar, it really doesn't make a lot of sense for me to open up this one. And so we're going to keep this and preserve it in the box, and I'm going to use this when I'm doing size comparisons and whatnot. I'm going to treat this like a Studio Series 86. Let me know if you think I'm should be more pure than that, but to me it just doesn't make sense to open up a Studio Series 86 just for that purpose. But my review of the Studio Series 86, I like the coloration. The clear glass, I mean, it's a nice touch. I mean, original Transforming Jazz had clear glass. From what I understand, this glass can discolor over time. I don't mind the light blue on this Jazz. I really don't mind it at all. Transformation wise, the sticker wise, I mean, this does look a little bit cleaner with the insignia being so bright, and it just has a square there and it drops to the white. Whereas this one has a bit of a longer streak of blue, and then the darker insignia. but I mean, at the same time, I mean, if I didn't know what the Studio Series 86 Jazz look like, and someone told me this is Studio Series 86 Jazz, I probably wouldn't know the difference unless I saw what it looked like, you know? Because then the mold is pretty much the exact same. It's just the paint job is slightly, and very slightly different. So I like the Studio Series H Jazz. Either which way, it's the exact same as the Legacy. Transformation wise, looks bang on. It's nice. The figure itself looks nice. The head shape looks nice. The paint job, I do like this paint job slightly better than this one, but it's, again, not enough for me to change it because it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all, and the blue windows don't bother me at all either. So yeah, so for me, I'm going to keep the Legacy with my Studio Series 86 compadres here, and I'll just put Optimus there so we can see him. But yeah, for me, I Studio Series A6 Jazz, very good mold. Legacy pretty much copied that mold and just changed some paint a little bit and some stickers, but both very good toys. And so I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So if you happen to pick up the Legacy box, you get 5 Transformers, and one of them being Jazz. But if you want to be stay pure and get the Studio Series 86 Jazz by itself and open it, yeah, do it, do it. I can't fault you for that. If you want to be, keep that consistent, absolutely do so. But for me, that the minor difference in paint is not enough for me to open it. But I have to say that I do love the mold, and I do think that Hasbro did a good job with Jazz. So this is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. I hope you like the review for the Studio Series 8 Jazz, 86 Jazz / Legacy Jazz, and you can see how well it pairs up with the other Autobots in the Studio Series 86 line. So if you like this review and look at Jazz, please hit the subscribe button. You're going to be helping the channel out. We're aiming to get to 1,000, and when we do, if you're a big Transformer fan, which I guess you are if you're watching this video, we're going to be getting ourselves a Robosen Grimlock, which is the auto transforming Grimlock. Has the original voice actor's voice in it. Walks in both dinosaur mode and robot mode, or auto or Dinobot mode. And we're gonna do some cool videos with just by itself, opening it and just seeing what it can do. And then we're going to shoot some really cool videos with Optimus and see how they pair together well. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. I have to figure out how that works once we get one, but I think we're going to have some fun with that. So help the channel out if you can. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And we look forward to seeing you next time for some more Transformer and collecting fun. So we will see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye now.